The presence of the first Africans in Canada can be traced back to the 1600s. Their stories of strength, courage, and perseverance in the struggle for freedom are an integral part of not only American but Canadian heritage as well. This is the African Descent Canadian History in British Columbia.
The Scurry family is one of the two largest families made up of the African descent population. In 1891, the census counted Vancouver's African descent population at 27 residents, 13 of whom belonged to either the Scurry or the Sullivan families, of a total population of 18,260. The railroad was just reaching Vancouver and people were coming to find success, gold, and free life. The Scurrys were one of these families and established their own businesses and excelled in areas like sports. They experienced racism and discrimination at many turns, but every challenge this family faced it head on and kept on going. It is known that Hiram was born in Virginia in 1833, made his way to freedom and lived in Michigan, fighting the Civil War. He met Martha née French, who was biracial, upon arrival in Canada. They established their first home in Sarnia, then known as Owen Sound, Ontario. Then they moved to Winnipeg before settling in Vancouver. By this time, the Scurry clan had grown to 8, with 6 children: Elijah, Charles, Harvey, Albert, Catherine, and Peter. Hiram set up a barbershop in Gastown. When the Great Fire hit Vancouver in 1886, Hiram was said to have carried his barber's chair on his back down to the harbor at Burrard Inlet to save it from the fire. A few weeks later, Hiram started his barbershop all over again at 25 Abbott Street, which was changed to 225 Abbott Street, the address shared with his family home. Hiram helped create the Vancouver's Barbers Union, which standardized prices and put an end to Sunday barbering. He bought some other real estate. He also co-invented a steam-powered dredging machine, which could go underwater and extract material from the sediment. He sold it to Fraser River prospectors and was mentioned in the magazine Scientific American. Hiram Scurry unfortunately passed away in 1895 at the age of 62. His sons took over the barbershop, while Martha moved to 534 Cambie Street and set up a boarding house at that address, with one of the most notable residents being Joe Fortes. Joe would come over to visit, help keep order in her house, and hang out with her daughter, Cassie, and granddaughter, Barbara. Elijah, fondly called Lige, was one of the best players on the Vancouver lacrosse team, known for being exceptionally fast and aggressive on the field. Ledge got arrested for returning insults to the captain of the New Westminster team over a racial slur. In another game, whether an accident or intentional, Ledge broke an opponent's collarbone in a collision. This led to the color bar, not allowing any non-white players to play. However, in 1906, Ledge Scurry opened the Railway Porters Club at 107 Hastings Street. The Railway Porters Club led the way for other clubs to pop up instead, like the Lincoln Club or the Pullman's Porters Club. Catherine was Hiram and Martha's only daughter. She had 5 children, of which her daughter, Barbara, was the youngest. She was at one time the fastest woman in Canada. In 1938, at the age of 17, she was the first African descent woman to represent Canada in an international sporting competition, British Empire Games in Sydney, Australia. Barbara instead set her eyes on education. When most ethnic minorities were barred from teaching, she was the first visible minority to teach in Vancouver in 1948. Lord Strathcona School is one of the schools where Barbara Howard taught physical education for over 40 years. Her accolades were many. In 2010, she received a Remarkable Woman Award from the Vancouver Park Board for her passionate dedication to inspire others to make a positive difference in their community. In 2012, she was inducted into the BC Sports Hall of Fame. In 2013, she received Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal. And in 2015, well into her 90s, she was named to Canada's Sports Hall of Fame. Ms. Howard passed away in 2017 at the age of 96. In September 2018, the City of Vancouver renamed 15 public spaces to commemorate the work of prominent local residents. The Cambie Street Plaza, located south side of the Cambie Street Bridge and north of the East off-ramp, was renamed the Barbara Howard Plaza. The Scurry family was one of the original pioneer families in Vancouver. They established businesses, and their family made an impression on the city. Life in early Vancouver was not without its challenges, but this family rose to the occasion time and time again.